Compassion is a for-profit organization that works with nonprofit organizations, primarily here in the Bronx, with underserved Black and brown young people, their families, and the community at large. My vision of compassion was birthed from the teamwork that I've done in the last 2 decades. I am a Bronx native. I am a product of Castle Hill projects, and often the media doesn't shine upon the positive things or the successful things that Black and brown young people do. Our program, Youngster to Mr. Fathers. YMF was developed particularly for Black and brown fathers to either come out and outreach to our young males, or just to share the success of being male role models, whether they're videographers, whether they're the bus driver, whether they're housekeeping. There's so many untold stories about Black and brown fathers. So what better way to do that than for us to tell our own stories?
I decided to be a part of this program because this is where my passion's at. Over 15 years ago, I ran a Young Fathers program. So I knew the need of the community, the need of young dads having some sort of guidance in becoming better fathers.
This exclusively speaks to me because this is what my father did growing up in my neighborhood. So for a father to give back to kids that's not his is a part of my passion.
Something that interests me to be a part of the program is the ability to help others try to inspire and try to educate the young men.
Monterey Cornerstone Community Center is a NYCHA facility, and with NYCHA being involved, these are some of the things that we encounter. It's totally unsafe for flooding, and we see some of the staff that's picking up the water, and this happens frequently where there's just water rising on the floor. Complaints have been put in, but this is what we experience on a regular basis. Because of all the water that's here, it begins to smell like mildew. But all here in the kitchen, if you look and see, there's water damage to the point where some of the ceiling has caved in. So because of the flooding that's taking place, all these amazing residents of the Bronx and all the programming that's taking place here on a Saturday is confined to 2-3 spaces where we could be in the gym or just spread about. Even the staff is cleaning up, doing, maintenance so that no one falls, that there's no, risk. But this is what happens. And again, this is a NYCHA building, even though the programming that takes place is funded by Good Shepherd Services in Monterey. Everyone's doing the best they can with what they have, but this shouldn't be, especially for residents here in the Bronx that want to come here and participate in activities. So here we are in the gym, which has become like storage. Today's a food pantry. As you can see, the bags are prepared to give out to the community. But again, the flooding limits the way, the process of distributing the food takes place. This has been the worst that I've seen with flooding, and literally, like I said, where the ceiling is caving from the flood. It's horrible. And then once again, you can see the best that they can. This is all the supplies and materials that have to be moved around because flooding takes place in the closets or in the pantry. So things just have to be rearranged all the time, and that becomes the responsibility of staff, and it's really not fair. So they try to do the best they can with what they have.
It feels good to have something or be somewhere they're trying to give back to anything. My goal is to get the youngsters in shape, mentally and physically. The workout is to give them clear mind, clarity, give them more structure in order to build on.
Black and brown fathers are not highlighted, so why not have a program that demonstrates the success, that demonstrates the positives, that demonstrates that there are actual young men as well as older men and the in-between that have all these amazing things going on.
My job, honestly, is to give back what was given to me. All the tools, all the love that was given to me, and to show young Black men that they do exist, that they do have a voice.
But just being around a lot of positive young men, a lot of positive young fathers,
and being able to reflect off of some of the things that I've learned in my life and just being able to put it out there for them, just to educate as much as possible.
I hope the young people will walk away with a feeling that there are black men older than them that can be seen as examples in life, that they can take inspirational comments or inspirational stories from.
I hope they come out with a sense of identity. I hope they find out who they really are. That way they can pursue their passion in life. Once they have an identity, it's easy for them to make a decision. So if we can get to that point, everything else is kind of easy from there.
8 weeks, we're going to make sure that our young men are physically fit, and then they're also going to have conversations and workshops. We are looking forward to seeing the growth, not just in our young people and the fathers, but even our team. That's what compassion is all about.